Oh boy, I'll tell you, the springtime. Sunset 9:12. That means the sunsetters have to be out at 9:20, which makes a long day when I get started at 8:30 or 9 in the morning. Oh, my old bones, I'm too old for this stuff. And I'm looking forward, man, June 21st. Forget it. I closing the gates after 10. That makes 13-hour days. But I have to say I'm not like moving stuff all the time. There's always projects, but in and out I'm doing other stuff. So let's have a Bud Light. You see, I'm tricky. I'm gonna fool you here. If you can see light through it, it's not real beer. This is actually, who makes this stuff? Oh, Bell's Porter. Drink local. I not so much on the light beers, but I can spend a little bit more because of my drinking habits. At the most, it's like one at a time, and that's so much more efficient than having to have like watered down beers. You have to have a 12 pack of them. Nah, it's quality, not quantity. It's a message for life. And you always drink it out of a glass. I apologize for being punchy. I mean, I just get kind of worn down here. Oh, man. Okay, for you former Bud Light drinkers, did you enjoy the fragrance, the ambiance? You have to drink it properly. Oh, man, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I'm not even saying, you know, drink local because of the whole Bud Light fiasco. It's like, as much as possible, support local businesses. Bell's, I believe, is made in Kalamazoo, but it's still Michigan. Comstock, Michigan. I think that's near Kalamazoo. But we have Pond Hill Farms is a microbrewery, and oh my gosh, some of these things will knock your socks off. But this stuff is only like 5%. It's not heavy. They get up to 10, but still, you get a nice stout, or a porter, which is a hoppy type of stout. Just a little bit of trivia. You're watching me drink. Oh man, it's an experience. For those Europeans out there, I totally agree. I need to get a pint glass when you're drinking a porter or a stout, because part of the joy is just, breathing it in, get your schnoz right in the glass, is that they actually kind of increase in diameter as they go up, and then it's kind of bulbous, and it has a wider mouth there, just so you can. Oh my, that's good. I'd rather drink one of these than 10 cheap beers, although I've been known to drink PBR. What am I up to? Well, basically, when I'm checking in cars and stuff like that, it's fun to tinker with old motorcycles. I love old motorcycles. I'm currently in my motorcycle phase. And today it was like Christmas. I bought that old TS 125 engine that's missing a few parts, but it's a solid engine. It shifts. The kickstart works well. It's got good compression. I dribbled some Marvel Mystery Oil into the top end, keep it good and greasy, until I'm ready to pounce and make it run. And the frame came for it today. I've got a cool gas tank that I'm going to repaint, and the frame came along with the swing arm and the two plates that go on the front for the motor mounts, and the triple clamp. And everything is good with it, but it was odd. Now, why in the world would you take a perfectly good frame and grind off the upper rear motor mounts? Luckily, it's just, literally just a couple of plates. You have your motor bolted in there with the front. There's two of them, and then at the bottom, so you can do it. Figure out where it goes on this back tube that goes from side to side, and then you basically just weld on two plates. And so I found a Greenwells. It's a fabrication place, and they sell metal, sheet metal, and pipe and tubing and stuff like that. They said, yeah, we could do that, especially it's such a simple fabrication. Now for the details. I'm going to get better forks for it because I'm starting off from scratch. I'm not going to be so concerned with, I want this to be a stock. Uh, what do you call that when you do it? Restoration. As long as I'm not grinding off any parts, throwing away old original parts, it's fair game. I'm going to paint the frame silver. It needs to be silver, like my old Pentons. Can always repaint it black. That was stock, big deal. I'm not changing anything. I'm going to put different shocks on it on the rear, a little longer stroke, not 70 millimeter, 80 millimeter stroke. You get up to 90. That's good. Good forks. You can always slide the new ones out and put stock forks in. Long and the short of it, and the tank. Turns out that purple with that sticker is not stock. It was repainted. So, old John's got free reign to do whatever he wants with this to make my dream cycle. Really, I would like a 175 or a 250, but the 125 wart. You work with what you have. Love old bikes. The nice thing about it is, think about the bygone days. If you're my generation, remember Popular Mechanics and other how to do things magazines? People used to make stuff. 14-year-old kids were building their own motorcycles with their hands, repairing cars, because people were capable. They're still capable people today, but you know what I'm talking about. And it's fun, especially with a two-stroke. You don't have to monkey around with valve timing. You don't have to take the head off. You just 4 bolts and pop the head off. You don't have to worry about a timing chain or push rods or valves or anything. They're simple. They're fun to work with. And this TS, unlike the TC, which has a rotary valve, this is a reed valve. And so the carburetor is just on the back of the jug. Simple. It's so simple. But yeah, and other news, the TC100. Oh my gosh. I have to say this is Bell's, the Kalamazoo Stout. This is Bell's Porter. The Kalamazoo Stout was amazing because they brew it with a licorice. That's the thing. They can brew them with coffee, licorice, chocolate, that's good stuff. But I'm just rambling. I'm currently cooking some Spanish rice for dinner. Watch an episode of FBI. Go to bed, wake up tomorrow, start it all over again. Man, this job is like Groundhog Day. And I appreciate that some of you grind away, and you know what it's like. And for those of you who do 7 days a week, for extended periods of time, this bud's for you. Anyway, I rambled enough. If you stuck around, if you watch this whole thing, you win. Have a good one.